Back up, homies. Hey guys, welcome to another On the Chopping Block movie review.
Yeah, welcome.
Today we're doing Hunt for the
Wilderpeople.
Wilderpeople.
Pretty sure it's Wilderpeople.
Wilderpeople.
It's spelled W-I-L-D.
Like wildebeest.
Wilderpeople.
Wilderpeople.
Are you sure it's Wilderpeople? You sound right coming off the tongue.
Yep.
Hunt for the Wilderpeople.
Wilderpeople.
Wilderpeople stars. It's got a great cast list. You've got Julian Dennison, you've got Sam Neill, who's just an absolute legend in his own right, and then you've got a few other starring appearances like Rhys Darby and a few other comics in there as well.
Yep.
Which is really, really cool.
Rhys Darby you might recognise from Flight of the Conchords. And Sam Neill, obviously, from Jurassic Park.
Yeah. Sam Neill from pretty much most New Zealand films ever.
Yeah.
Ever made. The dude's an absolute talent.
And Julian Dennison is the young newcomer. Young 12, 13-year-old. I think he was 12 when he started shooting. And
yeah, he's great. He's brilliant. He's like, an unknown, and he's got a very good, really awesome screen presence. This is coming straight off Taika's film What We Do in the Shadows and Boy. Boy being first and then What We Do in the Shadows. And both tremendous films, both big successes in New Zealand especially.
Yeah.
And Hunt for the Wilderpeople, I think I got it at that time, Wilderpeople, that now outgrossed Boy, which was New Zealand's highest grossing film, and now this film has now topped it, which is tremendous. So it does wonders for the New Zealand film industry.
Yeah, and it gives us a lot of hope for Thor Ragnarok coming out soon.
Yes, Taika is attached to direct that for Marvel, which is a big step up.
Yeah. It's great news for New Zealand directing. Wilderpeople is the story about... Wilderpeople is about Ricky Baker, a young kid who has been shifted from foster home to foster home.
He's a troublemaker.
Yeah. And he gets in lots of trouble, does lots of naughty things.
He makes
like spitting.
Yeah. Throwing trashing,
things.
hitting.
Burning things. So he's a little troublemaker, and he gets dropped off at his latest foster home, which is where he meets Unky Hick. And
well, it's not really it's a foster home, but it's like it's his auntie, who's lives up in the hills.
Oh,
it's not a foster home. He just lives with his auntie up in the hills, and she's married to this hunter kind of wild man who's played by Sam Neill.
Yeah, and he doesn't talk a lot. He's a grumpy man. He keeps his distance.
Leave me alone.
Yeah. And then there is an inciting incident which occurs.
Like every 3-act structure movie, there's an inciting incident.
Ricky sort of tries to fake his own death in a hilarious manner.
Yeah.
And other things happen, and they end up going up into the bush and sort of getting stuck there. And meanwhile, there's a misunderstanding among the
police
authorities
and the social welfare.
And they got this giant manhunt to try and find Ricky Baker and Hick.
Yeah, and so it's based, all in the forest mostly, and it's just a chase movie, really.
Yeah, it's a buddy road movie.
Chase, typical Kiwi kind of, it's a real feel-good movie. Yeah. It's a really feel-good movie, and there's just wonderful performances all around, from Sam Neill to Julian Dennison, and all the actors. They do a tremendous job.
One of the things I really loved about this film was that the range of emotions that it gives you, you laugh, you cry.
It really does, eh? Yeah.
It touches on some quite serious stuff at times, and it does it so well, and then just boosts it back up with a comedy, so it doesn't linger too long on the sad stuff, but and it touches light on issues around the New Zealand social welfare system and stuff, which is good. Like, it's brought light onto that, and a lot of people are moving against it at the moment, and
absolutely
putting pressure on them to make adequate changes on that. So it has an important political standing as well.
It has social commentary on it, and it's and this movie was actually based on a book by Barry Crump, who for those of you guys who don't know, Barry Crump was in all those old Toyota commercials with the big truck and stuff going through the terrain and the bushes, and it's all shaky, and it's like, oh, she's a tough one, that one. And brilliant bit of Kiwi culture.
Yeah, the references to other New Zealand films in this, there's heaps of them, and they're great.
Even New Zealand personalities. Yeah. And so what Barry Crump managed to encapture in the story, and then what Taika used to rework it into a screenplay, just beautiful. Really flawless. And the film is like a book in itself. It's set in chapters, kind of like Quentin Tarantino movies. These chapters. And each chapter title kind of gives you an idea on what what's about to happen or how close we are to the end of the story. And this story, like, it's great. It goes. It moves. There was not a boring part I found in this movie. It was brilliantly paced and tempoed. And the jokes are consistent. And because it's a chase movie, there's always movement. So they're always going. And therefore,
I love the fact that this movie is probably only previous to this movie, because New Zealand films are always made on such a slim budget. There's only 2 car chase scenes I can possibly think of in a New Zealand film, and one is Goodbye Pork Pie, and the other would be The World's Fastest Indian. Well, it's not so much a car chase, but
Smash Palace.
There's race scenes.
Yeah.
Oh, and Smash Palace, yeah. Which they also reference in this movie.
Most car chase movies are known for Australian films because they do all like the biker, like Mad Max and stuff. There's this very funny character. She's like the social welfare lady, the head social welfare lady, and she makes it her job to get Ricky Baker. She was brilliant. She makes her job to get Ricky Baker back safe to like another home, but Ricky Baker doesn't want to go home. So, he's the protagonist and she's the antagonist in a way, and so she's always chasing him. And it's funny because she's just a social welfare worker. She makes this thing about no child left behind policy, and so like no matter what, she's going to get Ricky Baker back. And like so, there's a point in the movie where they're chasing them, and she just commands this entire police unit,
the imagery
SWAT
of
unit, and like APCs, and she's leading it. And then it's so funny that
it just goes from slightly more and more ridiculous each time, and then like just the fact that there's like a social worker leading this like elite SWAT team through the jungle, which is a place you wouldn't really send a SWAT team into anyway, and they're just like trying to. It goes for like a few months, chasing up, they're constantly going for them. It's great. It cracked me up. Final thoughts. I thought the movie was amazing. It's great. Such an achievement of New Zealand film. It's got everything I love about movies. Made me laugh, made me cry, made me cheer, whoop, clap, lots of clapping. The audience was great when the theater that I went to see it as well, and like New Zealanders are really getting behind this film, which is good. It's great for New Zealand cinema. And if you're watching this review from overseas, because it's coming out in the States pretty soon and Australia, and you want to like thinking about going out and seeing, I highly recommend it. Even though we are Kiwis, probably slightly biased, but you really should see it, because a lot of the humour, although New Zealand orientated, still will translate quite well, and a lot of the themes definitely will for other countries as well.
Yeah, I agree. I think that,
so I'm going to throw it down, and I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. 10
out of 10.
Boom! Giving it.
That's the highest rated score so far.
It is. Breaking records, y'all.
That's brilliant.
Came in, gave it a 10.
Yeah, right on. I really enjoyed this flick. I think it was just, again, resounding like success from Taika Waititi. I was a big fan of Boy, big fan of Eagle vs. Shark even, What We Do in the Shadows. And I think he's just doing a tremendous job for the industry in itself, just showing that, there are stories out there to be told, New Zealand stories, and to like, be risky with a bit of stuff. And like a comedy works, obviously, and I think like in New Zealand we just struggle for films. Like 90% of the films that we kind of whip out are just, they're brushed over and they're not released properly. We don't get to see them. And what they managed to pull out for this film with the budget and like story was great. And it's spectacle. It's amazing music tracks. Cinematography was terrific. Editing was great. Even the visual effects, like there's some sweet visual effects shots in the movie which are done by Weta. And you can tell they're done by Weta because they look amazing. But yeah, this is a really fun movie. Go take the whole family to it. Kids will enjoy it. I think adults will enjoy it just as equally. It's a really fun, feel-good movie. You walk out with a smile, and you just, these warm, fuzzy feelings all around.
You feel really good.
You feel real good.
Just like, that was great.
And it was fun to watch. I'm really, really happy with it. I give it a rating. I would give it a 8 out of 10. I'll give it an 8 out of 10.
An 8?
Yeah, 8 out of 10.
Less than Civil War.
Yeah, I'm going to give it less than Civil War. I mean, like, it's good in its own right, and there's not many negatives with this film. It's really tough to give it faults, but, I mean, I really liked it, but it didn't speak to me enough and give me enough to be like, yes, that was, like, terrific. But it was just a really good feel-good movie. I'd rate it so much kind of like Forrest Gump. It's got a really nice story.
Yeah.
And, like, the character's really cool. And, it's just a really fun watch. But, there's nothing that's wrong with the movie. It's just, didn't speak to me as hugely as some of the other films that I really enjoy. So that's why I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10, which is still a good score. That's like Star Wars. That's what I read in Star Wars, I think. So it's about the same.
Also, on a side note, recommendations. Check out David Farrier's Tickled.
I hadn't seen that yet.
I went and saw it. It was very good. Very good documentary.
Absolutely.
If you want to see a crazy story, ultimately about bullying, it's
check this out.
People with this weird competitive tickling underground sport.
That's crazy.
That's going on, and it's this weird. It just gets crazier and crazier as the documentary unfolds, and it's mind blowing.
Brilliant.
So check that out if you can.
Yeah, and some other recommendations. You obviously got all of Taika's other films, like Evil vs. Shark Boy, What We Do in the Shadows. If you really were into New Zealand films, you could always dive back. Go see Goodbye Pork Pie, which is some similarities in that movie.
Once Were Warriors.
That's getting to a more dramatic.
It's Lee Tamahori. He did
Tamahori.
A James Bond film.
Yeah, a James Bond film. Not
we won't say which one.
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching our review for Hunt for the Wilderpeople.
Wilderpeople.
God damn it! Every time. I'll get it eventually. Thanks so much for watching again. You can subscribe here and you can see all of our other little movie reviews we got going on at the moment. And please enjoy. And go watch. Definitely when the movie comes out, watch it. Or if you have seen it, tell us what you think in the comments down below. And internationally, please go check out this movie. And I think you will appreciate the comedy as well. Look at that for a second.
Nope.
No, please.
No.
I know.
No.
I know how to use that. I've been reading online about how to use firearms.
You're not scucks enough.